Before I tell you which songs make demons flee, you need to understand why I'm qualified to say this and why some of you felt resistance just clicking on this video. I'm not guessing. I'm not repeating something I heard in church. I'm speaking as someone who once stood on the other side of the altar. My name doesn't matter. My past does. For years, I was deeply involved in occult practices, ritual magic, spirit invocation, and coordinated spiritual warfare against believers. I didn't just study darkness, I served it. I knew which words opened doors, which symbols drew power, and which sounds made entities manifest. And yes, there were sounds we feared, not sermons, not debates, not even prayers spoken without understanding. It was worship, specific worship, that disrupted everything. Here's what most Christians don't know. In the occult world, we categorize worship music. Not all of it is a threat. Some songs are emotionally moving but spiritually harmless. Others create atmosphere but no authority. But there are a few, very few, that function like spiritual weapons. When those songs were played with genuine surrender, we couldn't remain. Rituals collapsed. Manifestations failed. Assignments were aborted mid-operation. I remember one night vividly. We were conducting a coordinated working, candles lit, sigils active, spirits already responding. Then, from a nearby house, a worship song began to play. Not loud, not dramatic, but something shifted instantly. The temperature dropped. The pressure in the room vanished. The entity we were working with withdrew without warning. Panic broke out among us. We shut everything down. That song wasn't just music. It carried authority. I didn't understand it then. I resented it. But after my deliverance, after Jesus pulled me out of that darkness, I learned the truth. Worship isn't about melody, it's about alignment. Certain songs align the human spirit with heaven's legal authority, and when that happens, demons don't argue. They flee. In this video, I'm going to expose 4 worship songs we feared the most and why they work. Stay with me. This knowledge isn't for entertainment. It's for your protection. Before I reveal any song by name, you need to understand something that will completely change how you see worship. In the occult world, we don't evaluate worship the way churches do. We don't care about vocal skill, instruments, or how emotional the room feels. We measure worship by impact, and impact is determined by one thing only: authority alignment. In darkness, every spirit operates by permission and rank. Nothing moves without legal ground. When a believer sings without understanding who God is and who they are in Him, it may sound beautiful on earth, but it barely registers in the spirit. We used to call that empty noise. It stirred emotions, not realms. But there were moments, rare, dangerous moments, when worship crossed a threshold, when a song was sung by someone who wasn't performing, wasn't trying to feel something, but was fully surrendered. In those moments, we felt it instantly. The atmosphere would harden like invisible pressure crushing inward. Lower ranking spirits would scatter first. Higher ones resisted, but even they couldn't stay long. Here's a secret most churches don't teach demons, don't fear volume. They fear agreement. Agreement between heaven and a human vessel. In occult training, we were taught to monitor Christian gatherings, not physically, but spiritually. We knew when worship was harmless, and we knew when it became a threat. Certain songs consistently triggered alarms, not because of the lyrics alone, but because of what those lyrics activated when believed. One night, I was assigned to observe a prayer meeting from the spirit realm. No rituals, no chanting, just a small group of believers worshiping quietly. Then they sang one specific song, slow, simple, almost repetitive. But the moment they reached the chorus, something snapped. A spiritual boundary formed. I couldn't cross it. The spirit assigned to me retreated without instruction. That never happened. Later, I asked my superior why. His answer chilled me. He said, "That song exalts the throne. When the throne is exalted, all authority beneath it collapses." That's when I realized something terrifying. Not all worship invites God, but some worship enforces His presence. And the songs I'm about to expose fall into that category. These weren't songs we mocked. These were songs we tracked, avoided, and tried to neutralize through distraction, fatigue, and offense. In the next chapter, I'll reveal the first song and explain exactly why it disrupts demonic operations the moment it's sung with understanding. The first song we feared wasn't loud. It wasn't aggressive. It didn't sound like warfare at all. In fact, many occult practitioners underestimated it at first and paid for that mistake. The song was Holy, Holy, Holy. Let me explain why this one was dangerous. In the spirit realm, holiness isn't a moral concept, it's a boundary marker. When humans sing about God's holiness without revelation, it's poetry. But when they sing it with understanding, they are declaring something far more powerful. God is completely separate, completely superior, and completely uncontested. That declaration has legal consequences. In occult operations, one of our main strategies was to blur spiritual hierarchy. We thrived on confusion, making people feel God was distant, weak, or negotiable. This song does the opposite. It restores order. It publicly acknowledges the throne. I remember a case where a believer under heavy oppression was targeted through ancestral rituals. The assignment was solid. Legal ground was established. The person didn't even know why they were under attack. One evening, while cleaning their house, they began humming this song, absent-mindedly at first. But then something shifted. They slowed down. They sang the words intentionally. The moment they emphasized God in three persons, blessed Trinity, the atmosphere changed violently. Here's what most people don't know. When the Trinity is acknowledged in unity, it activates complete authority, Father, Son, and Spirit in alignment. Darkness cannot fragment that. The spirit assigned to that house panicked. The ancestral link went dormant. We lost access. From the occult side, we described that song as altar, destroying worship. Not because it shouted, but because it recognized. Recognition is dangerous to demons. When you recognize who God truly is, you also recognize who they truly are, created, limited, and judged. We tried countering this song through distraction. We planted thoughts like, this is old-fashioned. This is boring. This doesn't feel powerful. Anything to stop believers from singing it with revelation. Because once holiness is declared, not just sung, demons don't debate. They withdraw. After my deliverance, I tested this myself. In moments of spiritual pressure, I would quietly sing it. No music, no atmosphere, just truth. And every single time, the heaviness lifted. This is why I'm warning you. Don't measure worship by how it makes you feel. Measure it by what it forces the enemy to do. In the next chapter, I'll expose the second song, the one that doesn't just make demons flee, but permanently disrupts long-standing assignments.